All right, thanks for joining me again. I wanted to share with you a little thought this morning. I was considering, I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were talking about not knowing what they wanted to do, career change, and they felt like, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do. This job is all I've ever really known since I got out of high school, and honestly, I don't know where to go from here. And that got me thinking about having purpose in life. And, purpose is important. And when we lose our purpose, it's devastating in a lot of ways. We don't know where we fit in. We don't know where we're going, what we're going to do. And purpose gives us drive. It gives us something to want to strive for. It makes us want to keep going. It makes us want to, we can always look back at what our purpose is, and it just makes us want to keep on. And purpose is something that we can honestly say was given to us from God. And we look back to the very beginning in Genesis. God created Adam and Eve, and He put them in the Garden of Eden. And their job, their purpose was to groom the garden, to take care of the garden. Their purpose was to name the animals, to take care of what God had given them and put them in establishment of. And then even after they sinned and after they were forced out of the garden, God said, from now on you're going to have to till the land. And He put in mankind purpose, to have to work for what they do. And having that purpose is important for each and every one of us. It seems like some people very easily know what their purpose is. They just instinctively know, hey, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm supposed to do, and they go out and they do it, and I'm glad for them. And then there's some people who may go through their whole life, and we're hearing more and more about people that retire, and for years they'd wanted to do this or that, and then after they retire, they start getting into what they wanted to do, and they find that was a greater purpose in their life than anything they could have ever imagined. But a lot of times you're not ready for that. It comes a place and time in your life where you feel the need to do something. Some people seem to go through years trying to find out what their purpose is. And I want to share with you this thought. We all have purpose. There's not a doubt in my mind that every one of us have a purpose. There's a point in our life where we need to be used for some reason, some way, somehow, even if it's a small thing. We all have a purpose in life. And when we lose that purpose again, it can become very devastating to us. But that doesn't mean that we need to give up. As a Christian, the one thing that we can always fall back on, whether we lose our job, whether we lose a family member that we took care of, or for whatever reason that it feels like we've lost our purpose, there's one purpose that every person who has taken on the name of Christian should always look at and remember. As Christians, our purpose is to tell the world about Jesus Christ. Jesus said that those who follow after my word are my disciple. So if you're a Christian and you're following the Bible is your roadmap. It's what guides you and leads you and inspires you. And God, through His Spirit, through the Word, inspires us. Then your purpose is simply that, to share the gospel the best that you know how. Whether it's through your actions, your attitude, or the opportunity from time to time to just say, hey, you know what, I'm praying for you. To share the gospel of Jesus Christ is important. And don't ever forget that you have a purpose. You may not understand what your purpose is right now, and from time to time your purpose may change. But what's important is that we walk in the Spirit of God, and we allow God, through His Spirit, through His Word, to lead us and guide us. Sometimes, a preacher and a pastor may tell you, hey, today I'm doing this and tomorrow I'm doing that. Well, what's his purpose? His purpose is simply, it don't matter where he goes or what he's doing or what his job is. His purpose is to share the gospel. You may get down. You may get completely lost and not knowing what to do. But please take assurance that as Christians, you have a purpose. Sometimes losing your purpose is God's way of bringing us into a humbleness to where we're more in contact with God, where we take time to say, okay, God, I don't know what I'm going to do, but what I am going to do is I'm going to dig a little deeper. I'm going to dig deeper into your word. I'm going to pray a little bit more. I'm going to begin to fast, and I'm going to begin to look to you. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed and so taken in by our jobs and the things that are around us that we neglect our relationship with God. And sometimes God pulls a rug out from underneath our feet to get our attention back to Him. And that's hard, but it's important that we keep that relationship going with Him. And if it means taking the rug out from underneath their feet, and I've had that happen, trust me, it's worth it in the end. We may not know where we're going or what we're going to do, but there's a purpose in your life, and God will never leave you purposeless. You always have a reason to keep going. You always have something to strive after, to push forward and keep going in life. Anyways, I'm going to get off here. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this little thought. You can visit me at countrybbt1@gmail.com. Give me your information, your insight. Let me know as you study and pray what God's inspiring you to do and the thoughts that He gives you. I'd love to hear your testimony. I'd love to see that you're digging deeper into God. Sometimes the spiritual walk of God is like a well. You can dig pretty deep to get to where you want to go. And there's a great depth in God, a great understanding that we can come to know and feel and enjoy our walk with Him and our walk through life with Him. Until next time, thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon. Good Lord willing. Bye.